Good evening. You're right on time for Farm Drive. My name is Gyoshe Mbogwa. Welcome and thank you for joining us. You can follow us on our social media handles. That is Farmers Media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can get any of our content in any of our social media handles. You can also follow me on my social media handles at Gyoshe Mbogwa Facebook and Gyoshe Mbogwa Twitter. And we said the most important thing is to just understand we want to run farming as an enterprise. We want to take it to the next level. We take farming as an enterprise, something we can give and can forward to the next generation. And we want to keep the conversation about the farmer, about the African farmer, African product, African produce in the airwaves until it gets to the right people who need this information. We connect you, you learn, and you grow towards food security and towards even making profits, and most importantly, running the whole business as an enterprise. And today, we have an amazing topic. We're just asking a question: what is the role of technology in post-harvest management? What is the role of technology? Where are we as far as innovation and technology in terms of farming? Most of the times we are mesmerized, we are happy because of the technological advancement we see in government, in maritime, in vehicles, in anything you think of. But where are we as far as farming is concerned? What is the role of technology in post-harvest management? Now, post-harvest simply means you have harvested. It is the whole cycle after you have harvested your produce. You're out of your farm and you're thinking of how you will store, how you will package, how you will transport. Where is farming? Where are you as a farmer in terms of technology after you have gotten your produce from the farm? Basically, after you have harvested, we all focus on number one, in preserving the quality of what we have. So we must look for a way, we must look for technology that aims at preserving the quality of our product. If what I'm using today, if what you're using today, if what is advocated today does not preserve the quality, either it's cereals, it's potatoes, it's tomatoes, anything you're farming, how you store it, your practices after harvesting, do they preserve the quality of that product? Apart from preserving the quality, we want to make sure that we have profits. You might harvest, you might have a bumper harvest, but you have poor, post-harvest, practices that will always reduce your profit and the marketability. When you go to the market, we will prefer, or the consumers will prefer someone else's product over yours. So we must have something that helps us to preserve the quality of our produce. That is the main aim. So we are asking, where does technology stand as far as post-harvest management is concerned? This simply means it is before the consumer has the product. It is before the consumer buys. So if we are packaging, if we are branding it, if we are storing it for future use, if there is any additional we are doing to this product, how do we do it? Where is technology in terms of this? So as far as all these things are concerned, technology, storing them, their main aims, the main aims of post-harvest management is to minimize losses. Everyone has, and we agreed, we are running our farming and our agriculture is an enterprise. We're not just running it so that we can have the school fees, so that we can get to the farm, see something, to mevuna, to mepata. No, we want to run it as an enterprise. We want to get to a place that we are able to build our houses, we are able to buy those cars, we are able to rent more farms, we are able to buy more pieces of acres, so that we can advance farming. We want to see ourselves in the next level of technology. So that is how we want to do it. So the main aim, and anything you use as far as technology is concerned in preserving after you have harvested, the main aim should to maximize profit and reduce losses. So if you have if you harvested maize, where do you bring in technology as far as minimizing losses is concerned? So that simply means we need a place where we can store, far away from pests and any diseases, any infestation, any theft, anywhere we can minimize losses. That is where we want technology to come in. And I think from the president's speech last week on Tuesday, he mentioned something, and he said concerning cereals, and that is concerning maize, that a 90 kg bag of maize, a 90 kg bag of maize, because cereals, you see the greatest way to, and I think most of the times as farmers we look at cereals as one of the produce that is easily and cheap to maintain after you have harvested, because you only need the sun. So if the sun is not there, probably that's why you need to bring in technology. But most of the times you find sisi wote tunaandikaga mahindi kwa jua zinakauka. So that is one of the easiest way that one of the easiest product or produce that you can handle after harvesting. So the president said, and from his report, is that it costs around 60 shillings per 90 kg bag of maize to just dry and go through the whole process of post-harvest. 60 shillings. And from his side, he said that they are working with NCPB and county governments to make sure that the national government will foot half of the cost. That is 30 shillings per 90 kg of bag. And I think this comes in handy in terms of post-harvest, because most of the times we might have a bumper harvest. And having a bumper harvest simply means there are high chances that when you get to the market, there is a lot of flooding. Unapata sisi wote tumelima viazi, sisi wote tumelima mahindi. It's around December, it's around January, the beginning of January and end December. We all want to sell maize so that tupate pesa ya Christmas, ya kuruka mwaka. And you see in January the kids are going back to school, we need school fees. So high chances are that as far as maize is concerned, as far as cereals are concerned, there is a lot of this produce in the market. But we can go this way of taking in technology into our farming so that we advance the way we handle post-harvest practices. So number one, we said we want to minimize losses. So you're minimizing losses in that sometimes it's not even intentional. You never intended that you will have to store this produce for some time. And most of the times as farmers nowadays, there is a trend, you just look at the maize, you just look at this produce and you want to sell this produce in the farm. So that you reduce the costs of transport, storing it, looking for other markets. So that day we are going to harvest is the same day that you're going to sell the produce. In fact, whoever is buying the produce comes to your farm. Because there is a great fear within farmers to just skip the whole process of post-harvest management and practices. So we want to minimize losses, but at times you get to the market and it's flooded. What do you do? So you will have to store the produce. So this is where we are asking, where does technology come in? Because the main aim of the technology, number one, we said, is to minimize losses. Number two is to preserve the quality. So we want to make sure that these potatoes, these tomatoes, these avocados, this maize, this rice, once I store them, once I have harvested them, I'm storing them, I'm transporting them to the market, I'm packaging them, I'm adding some nutritional value. You see, all of these things, all of them, we want to preserve the quality. So we want to adopt a technology that can minimize losses, and not only minimizing losses, but can maintain the quality. Especially for maize and cereals, when you dry them, zikauke sana, so there are high chances that they lose, the weight, and all these cereals are sold by, we measure, it's a 90 kg bag, so this is the amount. So if you take them at that whole process, probably high chances are you're going to get high losses. But still, on the other side, there is a risk that if you don't dry them, that is after harvesting them, there are also high risks and high chances that you're calling in aflatoxin. You're calling in some diseases and some pests just because it's not dry. For perishable produce, it's also tricky as far as especially whatever we harvest within 3 months across the country. At times it's tricky to go through the whole process of post harvest. So most of the times you find that, again, I said farmers want to harvest, and when you harvest, you sell them right now. If it's cabbages, you want to harvest cabbages, and then you have the struggles of storing them. So you want to harvest them today and sell them today. In fact, some of them go with the demand. As long as I have a buyer, let's go to the farm, take whatever you're taking and go. So we are looking at a technology where you get to the market and it's so flooded. The market is flooded with potatoes, and they say toreros or tomatoes. It depends where you went to school. So it's clouded with all these produce. So where we need to go back, probably store them, because you don't want to be at an equilibrium. Equilibrium, we say, is where you just want to get what you invested in that farm. So we don't want to get there. We want to be in a place where we want to get a profit. And at times you get to the market and you're like, if I can only wait for a week, 1 week is enough for me to make a profit, an honorable profit. So number one, we want to get a technology that can preserve the quality. All over the world, we are all saying about food security. So most of the times, if we are not able to preserve whatever we have harvested, if we are not able to maintain the quality, we go at losses. And if we go at losses, that simply means whatever was produced has gone at losses and is normal. That simply means I, as a farmer, I, as an individual farmer, it simply means I have gone at losses. So simply meaning I'm not able to have that exchange. You know, I gave you my potatoes, I gave you my produce, and now you give me money. This money or this currency can buy something for me, can buy something that I'm not farming. So we are endangering the whole process and the whole cycle of food security. If we have a process of storing, if we have a process, a technology that where we can package, add value, and you see most of the times when we add value and package, we also add the shelf life of this produce. So if it's potatoes, if we can add value and then give the crips that you know you like feeding on when you're traveling, we add the shelf life. But if we cannot have a technology that can do this, then we are endangering the whole cycle of food security. Okay. Again, from the words of most of the African leaders, most of the African leaders, the point is, and the point that they are driving home is that probably 10 years from now, or not so many years from now, a bigger percentage of the population in the world, 7 billion plus, a bigger percentage of them, more than a quarter, tending to almost probably half, might be in Africa. Okay, because there is space, the climate is good, we can farm, we have indigenous food, all that stuff. So if we cannot as an African farmer have technology, one, that can preserve the quality, two, can minimize losses, then we are endangering the whole process of food security. We need to counter scarcity. We need a technology that can help us, that can help you, a farmer, that can help the farmers club in your area, that can help potato farmers, that can help maize farmers store their produce. Okay, as you await the days of scarcity, where we probably don't have maize in the market, we probably don't have that produce in the market. So we need a technology that can help us counter the whole issue of scarcity and shortages. Because you realize we don't have potatoes all through. There are times you go to the market and you want to purchase some potatoes and you're told, I think 3 or 4 is 80 shillings, but there are days you go and it's flooded in the market. But the problem is we don't have a technology. We don't have the technology to preserve potatoes and some of these produce. So the big question is, which technology or what technology can we bring on board to make sure we counter the whole issue of scarcity and food security? We also have the issue of, it's obvious, waste reduction. We want to reduce waste in that we are able to store whatever is in excess in a certain season. We want to improve marketability. Anytime we have the quality is high, the quality is good, that simply means you take your watermelon to the market, you take your fruit to the market, they are more appealing, you see. From afar, I can look at them and the quality is so good. So we are basically looking at what technology can ensure that as a farmer I have profits. And we see most of the times profits will come even out of season. So we are looking at being relevant even out of season. I'm looking at a place where as a farmer, I'm relevant when the season to harvest maize is over. So we are probably planting. We are where are we? So basically, we are looking at a technology that can do that. We have customer satisfaction. You realize there are many times that customers have a preferred place where they buy their produce. Customers have a preferred place they can purchase their produce simply because they know, come rain, come sunshine, out of season and in season. There is a farmer somewhere in Kitengela, there is a farmer somewhere in Nakuru. As far as he's in existence, as long as Ujama ako uhai, you will never lack cabbages, you will never lack kales, you will never lack spinach. Okay, so that cycle is what we want. We want to have customer satisfaction where we don't struggle to get the market. So we're also looking at where do we store our produce? How do we store our produce? Do we have a place that where we can extend the shelf life of kales, the shelf life of cabbages, the shelf life of fruits, anything that concerns customer satisfaction? Then the whole issue about value addition. We are looking at a technology that can help us add value. One of the biggest concerns that has been raised in Africa today is that we always export our produce as raw materials. Most of the times we export whatever is our produce, whatever we mine, whatever is a gift of natural resource. We always, most of the times, and the bigger percentage of it, we export them as raw materials. And I think that causes us not to get the whole impact and the whole profits of what we are doing. So if we have a technology that can, help us add value in our produce. If it's potatoes, we can add value. If it's bananas, we can add value. If it's mangoes, we can still add value. Package them, extend their shelf life. In that they will be if I harvest potatoes, high chances are at natural instance where you have not added technology, where you're just storing them, high chances are within 2 or 3 months you probably need more to replenish your intake, even as a consumer. So if we have a technology, a process where we can bring in our potatoes, add value to them, we extend their shelf life. Okay, we extend their shelf life, and there is always, and I know currently there is the whole issue of milk and milk powder being imported, being exported. There is that whole issue about milk powder. If our farmers, after milking your cows, you have a way that we can package our milk, that we say this is milk from Kinangop farmers, this is milk from Kitengela farmers, this is milk from this cooperative society, it it's a cooperative society of farmers who came together from this area. So we have a small dairy, we have a small industry where we bring milk, we preserve, we package them, we brand them, and then we export or we sell them. So that simply means there is no day milk will be in plenty and you actually don't have a way out. But all the times I remember when we were young, we used to take milk to the local center, and ukifika pale the guys taking the milk wanakwambia, they will tell you that at our storage facility where it was, we have a lot of milk. So today we are only going to take the first 20 farmers. So if you're beyond 20, wewe na maziwa yako potelea mbali. So if we have a technology that can help us, that in days of plenty, we have a way we can store and add value in it. Then we also add the whole issue of minimizing profits, risk reduction, adding value, consumer satisfaction. It helps us even extend the shelf life. It simply means if we produce the product from potatoes, from milk, from what else? From oranges and any type of fruits, pineapples, we can produce them and add something in it. We extend the shelf life. It simply means even out of season, we are still earning profits from our potatoes. In season, we are still earning profits from our milk. We are still earning profits from our maize. Okay? So, do we have a way that farmers can join together, bring in their produce, especially maize, if it's maize, have a portion meal, have a way you can package them, have a way you can brand it? It becomes easy that even out of season, after the December season is over, after the November season is over, after the August season is over, now depending on where you are, if you have 2 seasons of maize harvest or 1 season, that simply means we still have a way out in terms of all this. Then we also add on the whole issue of innovation. We bring in new ideas in the farming sector. Most of the times, and I will encourage us farmers, most of the times when you're going through your social media platforms and all that, always be on the lookout about some of the trends and some of the technological advancement that is coming in. You can get to TikTok, you can get to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, some of these, even YouTube. You can get and see some of the advancements that even people overseas and people beyond our borders are doing just to improve the whole issue of technological innovation. So we can become innovative. And most of the times we say you don't have to struggle with the whole issue of you as a farmer, you must be innovative yourself. Sometimes you need to bring some people on board. That's why we brought the whole issue of running our farms, running our agriculture as an enterprise. And anytime there is an enterprise, most of the times you find there are experts involved. There are experts who come in terms of finance. There are experts who come in terms of human resource services. There are experts who come in terms of analysis. There are experts who come in any field that you feel. There are experts that will come in and help you out. So most of the times in terms of advancement and innovation, you need to meet as farmers and agree. We need to add value to our meat. We need to add value to our maize. We need to add, what can we do? Who is that expert who can give us insights? And if you have any question concerning any expert that you will want to reach out, whether it's in a government facility or an individual you probably had, through the media or through other farmers, and you're unable to get to them, just reach out in any of our social media handles, and we are here to make sure that the plight of the farmer is heard and everything about the farmer is attended to. So the whole issue about innovation, it helps in storage, packaging, efficiency, effectiveness, improving on that. And we will join up with the governments of the world and the nations and the people in enhancing food security. From what the president addressed, he praised the farmers so much, and he said they are actually one of the most patriotic group of people and group of citizens in this country. Why? Because out of season, in season, they are still farming. Whether they got a loss last season or this season, they will still farm. So, as far as we are patriotic, yes, we also need profits. And if we need profits, we need to ask ourselves, what is the impact and what impact will technology have on our daily farming? And which kind of technology can we bring on board? One, to help us that after I have harvested my crop, after I have harvested the fruits, after I have gotten the milk, the meat, can I add value to all this? So all this will bring an economical impact to the farming. It simply means it helps us pull the whole economies of scale. When we come together, we're able to bring our produce, you're able to bring your 100 bags, you're able to bring your 20 liters, you're able to bring your 30 liters. We sit on this table and now we need to make a decision. How do we improve? How do we bring in technology on board? So it is important that as a farmer, that we focus on making profits. We focus on running the whole enterprise, the whole farming as an enterprise, so that we can also get profits and also increase in our daily doing. So get us on any of our social media handles. Let us know which is that expert you will want us to bring on the show, which is that expert you will want yourself to contact. And most of the times you find they are farmers who have grown to the next scale of farming or a higher scale of farming, that they even have trainings in their farms. So we have avocado farmers who have in the language lugha ya mtatu tunasema they have made it, wamemake kwa farming. So they have trainings. You can go visit them. You can contact as a farmers media, so that we can ask ourselves, we can help with the expertise that is needed. What do we need to add the whole issue of to help us in the post harvest? Finally, we also need technology even in our marketing. And I know most of us are in YouTube, are on Twitter, are on especially TikTok. We can use these avenues because it's also a form of technology that can be used to market our produce, can be used to educate other farmers. And there are also farmers who are getting awards from just using social media for education, for marketing, and all that stuff. Because most of the times you find there are big industries that are doing sales and marketing on social media. They have websites, they have deliveries, all this stuff. So as a farmer, we can use our social media handle. And I think we can begin to, if I'm selling onions, let my Facebook page be full of onions, so that if anyone needs onions, he knows, oh, I have someone who is in Facebook, known as this and this, who does delivery for onions. If you're a potato farmer, then show us. And I think we'll begin a segment, because you see, this is our show. We are on Farm Drive. So we can begin a segment in this specific show where you showcase what you're doing on your social media handles. Tag us. Tag us on our Facebook page, tag us on our Twitter, tag us on any social media handle that you are in. That way, we'll be able to showcase what you're doing and also help you on any other expertise that you need. So let's begin there, from using our social media handles to advocate our farming, what we are doing, how we are doing it, and also to foster markets for our produce. I think that way we are able to create a connection. You're able to know, oh, I have a farmer around my place who does onion farming. I also do onion farming. We can meet up, ask ourselves some question. Where do we have markets? Where do we have a ready market for onions? Okay, so it becomes easy for us to enhance the whole issue of food security and also maximizing on profit. And then we can ask ourselves some of the important questions. The existing technological advancement. Okay, so and you see, technology is not something that we need to think something big. Of course, yes, we can think something big, but we can ask ourselves, just from my phone, just from that picture, just from drip irrigation, just from that greenhouse, that is also technology, something that we have not been doing before. Okay, so we need to ask ourselves, if I am doing potato farming, how can I advance? And remember, it spans so long, from the whole conversation of GMOs, whole conversation of machinery, whole conversation of pesticides and new seeds, genetically modified seeds, so the whole issue about technology is so wide. It is so wide, and I think as an individual you need to begin from a place of information and a place of expertise. So we said you don't have to bombard yourself with the whole issue of where do I begin, where do I go. Let's bring in experts, and always tune to some of these programs, because they will be really helpful in terms of educating us, in terms of technology, in terms of where we are supposed to go. So what are some of the ways that technology itself, so that we can understand, why do we need technology? Why do I need to adopt technology? In the existing era where we are today, this day, how has technology helped other farmers or helped you in terms of managing your harvest, managing your produce? So that's an important question that we can ask ourselves. So as we stand today, if you have been using your social media handles to sell your produce, to educate other farmers, how has it had an impact in your economy? That simply means in your profit, losses, in your customer reach, in new markets. How has it been in terms of machinery? Where are we, even as a country, as farmers, as far as technology is concerned? Where are we in terms of preserving, in terms of new seeds, in terms of fertilizers, in terms of pesticides, in terms of anything that you can quote as far as technology is concerned? So we will see that technology has revolutionized farming in high scale. That today, even as a farmer, you're able to tell the quality of your soil. You can test your soil and you can treat your soil. Okay, so because this is not a common thing in the African setup, we are like, yeah, if you want to treat your soil, just do some intercropping. Toa mahindi, weka maharagwe. Toa maharagwe, weka kitu ingine. Most of the times we don't check on the pH levels. Okay, we don't check on the acidity levels of our farms, and that becomes a great and a big impediment for a farmer in terms of profit making is concerned. So we are looking at technology. We're looking at technology that have helped us. Number one, revolutionize our harvest. Okay, so that we're able to harvest with ease. We are able to harvest with less labor constraints. Because most of the times, as a farmer, you get to the farm and the whole issue about harvest and is costly. So we are looking at a technology that can help us. One, in the whole issue of efficiency, we want to reduce losses, we want to enhance the quality of the produce. That nimeipata kwa farm ikiwa hivi, nimeivuna ikiwa hivi at this value. Can I maintain the value? And especially for vegetables and those produce that, or those crops that go for 3-4 months, most of the times their quality diminishes so fast. Especially a tomato farmer, you really need to be careful, and that's what we were asking. Now, how do you maintain? How do you keep up with the quality of what you have harvested? How is technology playing a transformative role? And I think the governments and especially the government has been so keen on this, in providing fertilizers, in coming up with measures and credit facilities, so that even as a farmer we're able to have a credit organization, credit facilities mandated by the government or even private individuals that will give the farmer whatever you need in terms of acquiring a new technology. So, how has technology played a transformative role in our farming? Because I remember most of the times you get in the farm at 6 and you have acres of land, and you will find the father, the mother, the children, the grandmother, and everyone is in the farm. But as we go along, we are having new advancements in technology that are less labor costly, and we are bringing in new technology, new machinery, and it becomes so easy for us in terms of engaging with our farms and our crops. How has it been transformative in terms of pest and disease control, in terms of detecting what is wrong with this plant, what is wrong with this produce? Okay, so we are looking at a way where we can bring in technology, and not just only in the farm, because most of the times we think of technology must be in the farm, but from when we harvest to when we are giving this product or selling this product to the consumer, which technology has been able to revolutionize the whole issue? We have seen county governments bringing industries that are adding value to mangoes, adding value to bananas, adding value to what? To I'm looking for there's one in around Makueni that was adding value to for export, especially for mangoes. The others for bananas, the others for potatoes, the others for maize, and especially for maize is so common for us. We just go to the posho mill, have it, and you can package it. So we are looking at a technology that can help us. That as far as we have the produce from the farm to the consumer, we are looking at that. So how has it helped us? Number one, we have had technology that are able to predict. They're able to predict, what diseases is. They're able to predict invention. They're able to predict the weather and all this stuff. So as a farmer, you're also ready and aware of which day you're supposed to harvest this crop, which season you're supposed to harvest this crop. In big industries, we have what we call automated sorting and grading. We're able to check the quality of what. That's why urea kuna grade A, kuna grade B, na kuna grade ingine. So we have machines that are able to sort it very nicely. We're going to take a short break, but after we are back, we are going to look at some of these technological advancements that have really come in handy to help the farmer, to help this individual as far as post-harvest management is concerned. So stay tuned. This is Farm Drive. Just get any question, and we are saying if you have any view and anything you think you need an expert's advice from, please just get in any of our social media handles and let us know. So we take a short break. We'll be back with more of this.
Drip irrigation is a type of micro irrigation system that has potential to save water and nutrients by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of the plants, either from above the soil surface or buried below the surface. The goal is to place water directly into the root zone and minimize evaporation. This system is very efficient because it delivers water directly to the plant roots, reducing water waste. It's often used in arid regions or during periods of water shortage, but it's also used in more temperate climates for its efficient and conservation benefits. Common uses include vegetable gardens, flower beds, trees, shrubs, and agroforests. It can be set up for both small-scale home gardens and large-scale agricultural operations. The system requires a water source, a method to distribute the water, usually tubes and hoses, and emitters which control the amount of water delivered.
Yes, thank you very much for viewing this awesome show. My name is Gershon Bogwa, and welcome back. This is Farm Drive, and we are looking at some of the advancement of technology in terms of post-harvest management. It simply means the whole cycle of harvest, you have the produce, but you have not sold it. So you're looking at some of these technology. What is the impact of this technology as far as post-harvest management is concerned? And as a farmer, what can we do as a group or as even an individual to ensure that we are having maximum profit? Maximum profit simply means the highest level of profit as a farmer I can get, the highest level of profit as a farmer I can get. So we are saying that every technology, any form of technology must aim at minimizing losses and maximizing profits. We want to preserve the quality. Those two go in handy. We want to ensure that we have waste reduction, not wasting a lot. When there's a bumper harvest, we are also able to store in readiness of the dry days, in days of scarcity. We're able to have food security. We have to be able to have value addition. And I think one thing we never mentioned is the whole issue of export opportunities, because export opportunities or export is one of the most underrated form of market that is a farmer we can engage in. Knowing that exports are zero rated, it simply means you are charged nothing in terms of tax. Okay, they are zero rated as far as you're exporting them to other countries. And I think on Friday we were talking about some of these cross-border trading that exists, some of these organizations that are coming on board, some of these governments coming together and nations coming together, enhancing trade, enhancing mobility. We can take advantage of that. We can take advantage of having ways where we can engage in export. And we see one of the advantages, or even as a challenge to export, and especially it depends with the farmer, is that exports have a certain level of standard. If you are planting bananas for export, there is a standard you need to keep to. If you're planting what do we call onions or avocados for export, there is a standard you need to have them. So even as you harvest them and transport them from your farm to probably where there is a value addition, to the airport, to the consumer, there must be a standard way where we bring in technology and help us in the whole issue of managing our produce. So we can bring in, or one way that technology has revolutionized is that we have industries and smaller industries that help us to add value. And if we add value, we have a way of doing what we call smart packaging. Now, smart packaging simply means it measures the moisture level, the acidity level, and everything that needs to be measured in terms of the standard that is required. And there are government agencies that concentrate on the whole issue of standard. If whatever you're producing has met the standard, so we need a technology that has met those standards. We are able to add value, produce, package, and brand. It becomes more profitable because as we do all this, we are adding the shelf life. Most of the times when you go to the supermarket or you go to the shop, anything you buy, as far as it's something you want to consume, it's something that you want to consume, you always check on the manufacture date and the expiry date. So as far as we are adding value, as far as we have a technology that can add value to what we have produced, we can add shelf life. We can add the shelf life. So by the time you get to the market and you're looking at the milk and you're like, the date of manufacture and the date of expiry, there is a span of probably 1 month. But if I got milk, okay, and I choose to, keep it in its original form, naturally, adding nothing, there are no chances that after 1 month you will have the same profit. So we are looking at this technology that has helped us to revolutionize the whole issue of dairy farming. the whole issue of dairy farming. In that we have technology that has come in handy. You don't need you don't need a high number of laborers to come and milk your cows, to come and feed your cows. We have technology that has come in board that can measure the levels of what your cow, of what your the pigs and the animals are taking in terms of food. So it's a technology. We cannot exist without technology. If that is so, then I think we'll be some of the most ignorant people and most tired individuals in the world as farmers. Because you look at other avenues, other businesses and other ventures, they have brought in technology wholesomely. They have brought in software that are able to track on the whole issue of finance, what we are spending versus what we are getting. Banks and bigger institutions, they have softwares that can run the whole issue about payroll management, the whole issue about human resource. Bigger company, even smaller company, and even startups are bringing in some of this technology. So even as farmers, we can bring these technologies and they can help us in the whole issue of helping us. We also spoke about our mobile phones. Using our mobile phones and our social media handles as avenues of market search, avenues of getting education and then being educated in terms of what we are planting, in terms of what we are harvesting. It's so easy even in terms of research. So this is some of the way we are bringing in technology. Sometimes, and I say technology doesn't have to be that big thing. It has to be the minute. We can begin where we are. We can begin selling our produce online. We are having potatoes. Take us on a journey. Take us on a journey. So today is planting day. Or let's begin, today is, we are preparing the farm. So after preparing the farm, what do? We plant. After planting, what do you do? If you're adding more fertilizer, if you're adding anything. So there is weeding. Take us on a journey even as a farmer. Take us on a journey. Take us on a journey on your farm. Open that TikTok account. Take us on a journey. We will be able to follow you. We will be able to relate with you. It will be so fun for that consumer to come and buy some produce for you because he has followed the journey. Okay? So today we are applying this kind of fertilizer. Today we are spraying this pesticide. Today we are doing this in the farm. Today is harvesting day, so we have harvested. So this farm, it's 1 acre. It has given me this bag of potatoes. And if you want potatoes, holler me or call me using this number. So we can use our social media handles to sell our produce. Okay? You can have that YouTube channel. Take us on a journey. You're getting the views, and who knows? You get that reward. You get some views, and time comes and you are getting some pay from content creation. We can do content creation even with our phones, with onions, whatever you are planting as far as onions is concerned. So simply means you are having content for 6 months. You are having content for 3 months. You're having content for 8 months, depending on what you're planting. So we can use our mobile apps, social media handles to sell, and also to communicate and get new markets. Technology has also helped us in terms of disease management, detection. I remember there are times where you have there are farmers in one area. There is an infestation of a certain bacteria, but we don't know what's wrong. And I know you'll bear with me that back in the village or where you are, a time comes and I don't know what happens, and I think this is where technology comes in technically. You probably rearing pigs, or a best example is you are a chicken farmer, okay, and probably everyone or most of the people around you are rearing chicken, and one morning you wake up and you realize almost half or all of your animals are dead. And after listening to and you think it's even worse for you, but your neighbor comes with the same story. Also, I lost my chicken, I lost my chicks, I lost what? Or even you go to the farm and you realize there is a new form of kind of a pest that is eating your produce. Okay, especially this happens with maize. So technology has come in, and within a span of few weeks or few days, we're able to know what is the issue. Okay, we're able to know how can we counter the issue and how can we cure the issue. So these are some of the impacts that technology has come in handy to help us. So the whole issue of money, e-commerce, that even as a farmer you can have a software, you can have a way you are tracking it. And at times, as I say, as a farmer, you don't need to begin in Mars. You don't begin in Jupiter. You don't need to begin in another planet. We need to begin where we are. Most of us, I think, we have our phones. We have a smartphone. That's a smartphone. We have our laptops or our desktops at home. We can begin with the simplest form of commerce, of money, handling money in terms of what is coming in the farm and what is going on. And this is the simplest way of having record keeping. That simple technology that has come in. Okay, use an Excel sheet. You have 2 columns of what came in and what is going out. Okay, that way you are able to track all your expenses using your phone. Okay, using a downloaded app, an Excel sheet, using your laptop, using your desktop. As simple as that, you are able to track what came in, how much have I sold, what was the quantity, how much have I used in terms of this drug, in terms of what I have paid the laborers. So we are able to know that next time I farm, I'm able to know what are my trends. Am I going higher? Am I going low? So these are some of the basic, smaller, basic technological advancements that have come in. So when I say it, running it as an enterprise, we need to begin somewhere. It doesn't matter if we begin low. We can begin low and go on. Something else is the whole issue of online meetings, online trainings. They are vast of them. We have big conferences that are coming up, I think, in September. In September, about climate change. We're even able to know that today is World Potatoes Day. It becomes so easy for us. Okay, so we have trainings that are done online, virtual training programs. This also helps us in handling the whole issue of post-management practices. So we can begin from where we are. We can begin from Earth as we head on to Mars, as we head on to Moon, and we are able to share our knowledge. I know most of us are in groups with other farmers, on Facebook or any other place. We are also enhancing the whole issue of global connectivity. If today you get to your TikTok account, your Facebook account, chances are you are able to see what is happening in China, the kind of technology they have, okay? That they have technology that is able to, go to a farm, they're able to harvest their corn, their maize, they're able to harvest their carrots. For us, I think where we are, you need to have some laborers in a whole acre of carrots. They need to go in the farm, but you get to some of these places where we have been brought together in what we call a global village, so that we're able to know what's happening somewhere else. So you're able to see some of the technology that is happening in Germany, in Russia, in terms of wheat production, in terms of maize production. So it helps us to actually know what is happening beyond our borders. So we are able to even know the forecast. So I know in the morning show, morning breakfast, we also have the segment about the weather forecast. Okay, so we are able to know what is happening where, there are rains coming. We need to prepare ourselves to plant. There are this and that. So this is what technology has helped us. There is something we call remote control, just from the simple word or the simple gadget we use at home. The whole issue of remote, you want to control something, and There are technological advancements where you can remote control what your animals will feed. The whole issue about irrigation, drip irrigation, the whole issue about your greenhouses. So it becomes so easy for you to do anything anywhere as long as you have your smartphone. Okay, so these are some of the technological advancements that are coming in handy to help a farmer. Now, a big question is a farmer who is rearing animals and who is planting crops. High chances are there is manure. High chances are there is biogas. Okay, so you can use any produce in your farm in terms of technology is concerned. You can use it in your farm and in any way. So finally, there is a whole issue of GMO. So technology comes up with what we call GMO. This is genetically modified organisms. Now, what is GMO? Because anytime we mention GMO, there is always a public uproar in terms of what GMO is. Should we consume? I think that one will leave it to some of the experts who come on board. But this is one of the technology that has come on board. This is GMO is a way of altering with the genetical matter of an organism, in that you don't wait for it to happen naturally. Okay, you have a way to do it that is man-made. This is more of biotech technology that it is introduced in certain genes. Okay, and there are a host of advantages of the whole issue of bringing in GMO in terms of technology, and there are also disadvantages. Okay, so and this is one of the impacts that GMO has brought. So what are some of the advantages of GMO? What are some of the advantages of bringing in GMO as a matter of technological advancement? So number one, we can improve some of the traits of these crops. Okay, it simply means we can add the shelf life, the whole issue of shelf life. We can introduce and improve the nutritional content. We can have it more it has high tolerance in terms of herbicides and anything we have. There is a whole issue of environmental consideration. So we have a way that we can bring GMO on board. Even from the time you are planting, you're also thinking of how do I maintain this produce after harvest. So there is a way we can improve the shelf life. Not just because we added value in it, but after harvesting, we improve the shelf life for some of these crops. And some of the disadvantages is that it has some form of ethic. Anytime we mention there is some of the ethical concerns that are mentioned. Anytime, even today, if you're told that whatever you're eating today is GMO, then most of the times we think it's contaminated. So there is an ethic concern of it. Then there is also an issue that has been raised, and it has been so strong in terms of biodiversity, that we might have certain crops, that we don't have anything natural. Everything has been altered. Okay, so if you don't have anything natural, then it also becomes so hard for some of the farmers who deal with whatever we call indigenous crops and indigenous produce. So there is a whole issue about health and all that. So the way we introduce technology into our farms, the way we introduce the whole issue of technology in especially maintaining our produce, it is very, very important, because I think that's the greatest determinant of what is our profits as far as our harvest is concerned. So what are some of these actual innovations? As far as we have had impact, we have had profits, we have been able to extend the shelf life, we have been able to bring in new innovation, we have been able to maximize our profits, we are not only operating on equilibrium, because most farmers, and I actually from research that most farmers operate at an equilibrium in terms of what you invest is what you get. High chances are there are no much profits. So we have been able to see the impact of technology. We have been able to sell our produce online. You are also now getting the views. You're now paid because of the content creation we are making. What are some of these technology that we can speak about? What is this technology that I as a farmer, that you as a farmer, you can post, that we can see on the ground? Okay? What is it that has been brought on board and it has revolutionized the whole issue about farming? We have spoken about the issue of remote control, the whole issue of GPS, and most of the times we use GPS when you're lost. Ukiwa umepotea mbali, that's when you're like, I can use GPS, I can, let me switch on, and you are finding your way, to where you wanted to go. But the whole issue about remote farming has been used, especially by most farmers, and this has been somehow led by some of the big farmers. When we say it, they seem to have made it in life. So these are some of the things that have been brought. We have brought the whole issue of drone. We can be able to spray using drones. We are able to get the condition of our soil. We are able to see the crop health. So there is what we call precision way of doing agriculture. So the precision way of doing agriculture is simply means we want to do agriculture on a sure bet. Okay? It simply means if it's a crop disease, we don't preempt. Okay? We don't preempt. So we have the whole issue of GPS using sensors in terms of the counting, but sensors that you can send something. So we're able to store our produce, we're able to add value, we're able to test the moisture content, we're able to see if whatever we are packaging, if whatever we are storing, if our storage facility meets the moisture content. Okay? So this is the whole issue about doing agriculture with precision. Bringing on board the whole issue of GPS, sensors, remote technology. It will help us in when we are packaging this milk. Has it met the right standard? The packaging material, has it met the right standard? So we are optimizing. We are increasing our yields through this kind of technology. Then we also have the issue of automated machines, the use of robots. Probably most of the times in our areas, we might not see them around. But if we have our social media handles, and I say it again, we can check some of these things. They are happening. It is going down. Okay. We have the issue about indoor farming. We brought the issue about greenhouses. We brought the issue about we don't have much space to farm, so we can use technology to do farming in that small acre of land, to that small plot of land. So it becomes so easy. We have spoken about the issue of GMOs, and I've said this is a whole issue that we can discuss around about it and agree on a few facts here and there. And then we have the whole issue of digital farming platforms, the whole issue of online platforms where we can meet, source for farmers, train farmers, we can meet, look for markets, we can meet and engage our minds in terms of what we are going to do in terms of storing and having our crops having our crops in the market. So these are some of the things that we can foster technology. We can bring in technology to help us in terms of storing our produce. So and then we say at times when you're harvesting, most of the time it depends actually on the crop, because you see for maize, at times you observe them and you are so sure and you can be sure that this maize is ready for harvest. For cereals, most of the times it's easy to tell it's ready for harvest. For maize, there is a way that farmers, they form bands of, you cut the plant and you form some bands of maize just to help the crop itself dry, and it will save you the whole cost of harvesting. You need to expose it to the sun. You have issues about storing them. It becomes a whole issue. We are also waiting to see how the government will roll out the whole program of helping the farmers as far as the post-harvest technique and technology in terms of maize is concerned. So we are still waiting for that and see how it goes by. So what do you think are some of the technology and technological advancement, even as farmers, we can think of that can be brought on board to help us in terms of after harvest is concerned? So in terms of our markets, what are some of the trends that get in the markets? As far as technology is concerned, we want to be technologically minded. We want to think everything in terms of making it easy, making it productive. And we say the highest goal of a farmer is to maximize profits and minimize losses. And if you're doing that, we said you're also enhancing and preserving the quality of the produce. So what are some of the things that trends in agriculture that, especially as the market is concerned, that has helped or will help us as farmers in terms of technology? We can adopt technology in our marketing strategy, in adding value. I don't know why the whole issue of adding value comes so strong, because when we add value, it simply means we have a longer stay in the market. One day produce, any produce, whether it's farm produce, animal produce, or crop produce, can have a whole span of 1 month in the market. Okay, we have 1 month in the market where we are able to have this produce. We are able to source profits from it. So we can adopt the whole issue of adding value to our produce to help us in conquering the market and staying in the market as long as possible. There are also government policies that come in handy in also to help us in terms of acquiring new technology, advancing in technology. So it helps us. It helps farmers. There's a whole issue of quality assessment. Okay, so before we take our produce to the market, before we store our produce, we're able to assess the quality. Does this produce meet the quality to be stored? A good example is the cereals. Do they meet the moisture content? Most of the times you find there is a way those who have dealt with the whole issue of maize and cereals, there's a way I think they just touch it. They can tell you, but we can use technology to actually help us get to the right moisture level. So we're able to tell the quantity or the quality of our produce. We're able to grade them. If it's coffee, you're able to grade them. If it's tea, you're able to grade. If it's also avocados, we're able to grade. I think back then we used to look at avocados as avocados until technology came and you were told there is also a level of avocados that you cannot export. There are also avocados that you cannot export in terms of the whole issue of quality assessment. There is the whole issue of traceability. We're able to trace where a produce is kept, where a produce is. Okay, That depends on the softwares we are bringing on board, the kind of technology we are bringing on board. It helps us to assess and know that this produce with this level and this quality has been stored here. This level has been stored here. This has been stored, has been added value, and we have sold it somewhere else. So the whole issue of technology is so important. Then we have what we call post-harvest treatments. So we are able to bring in our produce. Okay, we have known the quality of our produce even before we store, even before we sell, even before this produce exchange hands. We're able to tell the quality. Now, if we tell the quality, we're able to bring in what we call post-harvest treatments. This helps us, depending on your storage facility. It will help in terms of where do you store, what is needed, what do I need in terms of maintaining the quality. One, there is what we call the atmosphere, the controlled atmosphere for storing our produce. Okay, and that is why we had the government coming in handy in terms of open some of these facilities to help the farmer in storing their produce. One, in maintaining the quantity and the quality, because we don't want just to maintain the quality. We can maintain the quality, but the quantity diminishes. And woe unto you, the farmer, if your produce is sold by the weight. Reason by the weight, or yes, by by the weight. It simply means you will be losing some cash as far as you have maintained your quality, but the quantity is diminishing. So we have a way that technology has come on board. We are able to assess the storage facilities we have, what atmosphere is rightful for potatoes, what atmosphere is rightful for what? For our cereals. What atmosphere is rightful for that produce? Then if it is not rightful, then we can modify it. Okay? We can add something to the holes of the storage facility that when we store our maize, when we store our produce, after a certain span of or a certain period of time, we are able to get our produce in the same measure in terms of quantity and quality. Okay? That way, we're able to maximize our profits and minimize our losses in the highest way and in the highest level. Now, remember, we said we are also doing record keeping. When we say we don't need to go and begin in mass, we are doing with what we have on our smartphones, we are doing with what we have on our laptops, our desktops. Simple. If you don't have that, we can use our manual books. You have a pen and a paper. As long as you record, this is what I used, this is what I used, then it will be so easy to know what level of moisture content is in your maize. How do you keep the moisture level in your storage facility? And the whole issue about taking care of our storage facility. Now, this is the kind of technology we are speaking about that we can bring on board. And at times we only need to be that merry-go-round ya farmers. Leo ni wewe unachukua hii pesa, tumecontribute, kesho ni huyu, kesho ni mwingine. We have storage facilities where we can store our potatoes. That way, we will be maintaining the quality and the freshness of this produce. Okay? We spoke about the whole issue of smart packaging. We have seen a great new technologies that have come on board that we are able to package our produce. Okay? We are able to. Whoever thought that macadamia could even be packaged? Who thought? Who thought that avocados could even be packaged? And most of the times we thought that avocados would just spoil. Who thought that we can have powder made from fruits? Now that's the whole issue about technology. We have brought it on board, and I think we need to take a walk in the market and see some of the things that technology has been able to do. I had a friend of mine who was in the military, and most of the times they will come with, I think it was what was it? It was pineapples, packed pineapples. There's a way they are refined, they are added value, and they even define who would have even thought that would have happened. So those are some of the, and these are some of the technologies that are on board, that have come on board, that are really helping us in terms of packaging, so that we're able to package a pineapple, that the shelf life of a pineapple probably was 2 weeks or 1 week, but we're able to have it and extend the shelf life of this pineapple for a span of 6 months. So it simply means, as far as I am a farmer who is taking on pineapple farming, it simply means I will be in the market for 6 months. Now that does not depend whether I have pineapples on my farm, I am harvesting or not. Whether I'm harvesting or not, I still have pineapples whose shelf life is 6 months. It becomes so easy in maximizing our profits as farmers. And as we have said in Farm Drive, our main aim as Farm Drive, okay, is going home with maximum profits, is running our businesses as an enterprise. We want to run our businesses, we want to run our farms as enterprise, profit oriented. Okay, of course we might make losses here and there because of the weather, the diseases and that, but we want to maximize our profits. Where we can maximize our profits, we want to be there. We have said about the whole issue of technology that has helped us to predict, analyze. Okay, we're able to predict the shelf life of this commodity. We're able to predict the atmosphere. We're able to predict the storage conditions, and reduce the spoilage and reduce the losses that may come even in harvesting. We spoke about the whole issue of technology that is helping us in waste reduction. It simply means whatever is waste from this produce can be used as an advantage to something to help farmers. So what are your views on the whole issue of GMO? Because it's an issue that really meets the public with diverse opinions. Because that's one of the way that we can bring in technology to help the farmer. What are some of your views? Get us on any of our social media handles, Farmers Media, Facebook, Twitter, and even YouTube, and place any of your comments, any of your views in terms of what you think technology, and what technology can we bring on board in terms of ensuring our crop, our produce is safe and secure, and we are getting enough, and we are maximizing our profits in terms of after harvest. It simply means even the transporting trucks, the transporting technology you use, it's very important, because whatever you use to transport onions probably might not be the same as that you use to transport tomatoes, because of the distance, because of the time taken. So we want to minimize the loss. That I think there is no greater pain, hakuna uchungu imezidi kuliko kujua kama mkulima you have done your best, you have planted, you have gone all through the cycle of that crop in terms of weeding, in terms of pesticides and herbicides, all that you have done to the letter. But you get to the market, you cannot sell. So that's why we want to incorporate technology in terms of minimizing losses and maintaining the quality of the produce. Okay? I don't think there is greater pain. I don't think kuna heartbreak kali. I don't think kuna heartbreak kali kama umepanda, umevuna, umefanya kila kitu kinatakikana kwa huo mmea. Alafu umefika sokoni, you've gotten to the market, and man, it's flooded. I mean, you get to the market and you find tomatoes, all everywhere, all over, because it's also an extra cost of you going back with these tomatoes at home, and you ask yourself, you get to the market, you have done everything that is needed for that vegetable, that cabbage, Okay, but you get to the market, you cannot sell it. So what is the impact of technology in terms of after harvesting? Because that is the greatest level of heartbreak. That is the greatest level of heartbreak, where you cannot sell your produce, but you still have your produce. You're looking for a new market, you have new markets, you have maize, you want to sell it, you want to store it, but you still have the fear of if I store this produce, it will lose the quality. I might not get with the market. At times, we even need money. So we are looking at a technology that can help us even to wait for those. And I think farmers will be the most richest people if we adopt technology. If we adopt the whole issue of marketing our produce using technology. And we agreed, we want to see these challenges. Tag me at Geshe Mbogwa, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, tag a Farmers Media in any of our social media handles. Take us on a journey. So I know right now we are getting to a farm. Some of us are preparing our farms. We are getting ready for harvest. Yes, some are planting. In fact, I think most farmers right now are planting, some are harvesting. Take us on a journey. Film it. It's so simple. You just take your smartphone, film it. So today is harvest day. Take us on that journey so we can use the whole issue about technology in terms of getting what is needed in the market. As we do that, we are enhancing food safety and food security. So as far as we are bringing technology on board, we want to bring technology that is enhancing two things: food security and food safety. We don't want a technology that will spoil our produce. So someone came and told you, oh, you see, we have a refrigerator. If you store your produce in this refrigerator, it will be okay. But after a week, after some few months, the quality has diminished. You even don't have a produce anymore. So number one, we want to have a technology that has two key things. One, enhance food security, and enhance food safety. In terms of we are avoiding losses as much as possible. There are a host of technology and advancements that we can speak about, that we can bring on board. Many of them that we can bring on board as we answer the whole issue of the role of technology in post-harvest. We can ask ourselves in terms of what are some of the examples, what are some of the farms, some of the regions that have had or implemented technology-driven post-harvest solutions. Do we have regions, do we have countries that have brought in handy and have brought the whole issue about managing our produce after harvest with the whole issue of technology? What are some of the trends that we expect? And I think this is what we'll be looking at as far as farm trade is concerned, because we said we want to run the whole issue about our farming as an enterprise. It simply means we want to run this thing as profit oriented. Okay, we want to get good quality of our produce, then get good quality of our lives. So that's the main aim. So what are some of the things, what are some of the technological advancements do we expect in the next part of 10 years? Okay, in terms of packaging, in terms of branding, in terms of marketing, in terms of storage, what are some of the things? Do we have, can we look forward for a day where we can have technological advancement in terms of storing tomatoes? Because I think that is one crop produce that should be treated like a very special diet in high school. You get it? It is very special. What are we looking at in terms of technology as far as vegetables are concerned? Where are we? Where do we need some of the stakeholders to come on board, partner with farmers as far as technology is concerned? What are some of the challenges over time do we have with the issue of technology that we are looking at? uh, what are some of, because you see, as far as technology is coming in, we might have some of the disadvantages, and as we have touched in on the whole issue of GMO, uh, it's a whole issue that we can discuss, and everyone has their own standpoint. So we can ask ourselves some of these questions where we can bring in technology to revolutionize to revolutionize our storage facilities. So these are some of the important things and takeaway that we will be looking at as far as FarmDrive is concerned, and as far as you and I are concerned, and as far as this conversation is concerned. So some of the breakthroughs, some of the areas that we can use, and technology has been used, and we have gotten maximum profits in terms of our storage facilities, in terms of our marketing, in terms of our adding value. These are some of the things that we are looking at and will be looking at FarmDrive is concerned. And my takeaway home today, as we end our session today, is that we can maximize our profits. We can run our farms and the whole of agriculture as an enterprise. We can maintain proper record keeping. And finally, we don't have to begin in Mars, we need to begin where we are. We don't have to begin in Jupiter, we don't have to begin in any other planet, but we can begin where we are. Okay? We can become CEOs of our own farms. We can become CEOs of our own marketing strategies. We can become CEOs of those cooperatives. We can come together. We can begin where we are, and we can do it. Now let's begin this challenge. Take us in your farm. Let's see what you do. Take us through. Okay? Get in your social media handle. Tag me along at Gyoshe Mbogwa. Let me see what you do in your farm. We will visit your farm. We can take a look at your farm. Okay? You can become an avenue of training other farmers. We want to be tagged. We want to see what you're doing. We want to feel the impact of technology. We want to see what you're doing in that small farm. We want to see what you're doing in feeding your chicken, feeding your pigs. We want to see what you're doing in value addition of any produce that you have. We want to see what you're doing in those cooperatives, in those gatherings, in those coming together. Tag us along in any of our social media handles at Farmers Media Twitter, Farmers Media Facebook, and on our YouTube handle at Farmers Media. Tag me in my TikTok account at Gyoshe Mbogwa. Tag me in my Facebook account. Tag me in my Twitter account, so that we can be able to learn on what you are doing in your farm as you take us through what you are doing on your farm. This is FarmDrive. It has been an awesome time discussing and even getting the insights of what technology is doing on our farms, and as far as agriculture is concerned, as far as food security is concerned, as far as post-harvest management practices are concerned, as far as ensuring that we don't have food wastage. After having our produce, we are heartbroken as farmers because we have lost our produce, because we don't have markets. We want to have technology that helps us increase our bargaining power in the market, making sure that we are in the market, whether we have a produce in the farm or not, on our store houses or not, because we have a produce that has a higher shelf life. It has been an awesome time hosting Farmers Drive. My name is Gyoshe Mbogwa. Thank you very much for joining in. Special thanks to you, special thanks to our producer Mary, and special thanks to our director Dottie. See you tomorrow as we continue with the same topic, as we look at what are some of the technological advancements that we are looking up to enhance post-harvest management practices of our farms. See you then. God bless you. Have a blessed evening.
Drip irrigation is a type of micro-irrigation system that has potential to save water and nutrients by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of the plants, either from above the soil surface or buried below the surface. The goal is to place water directly into the root zone and minimize evaporation. This system is very efficient because it delivers water directly to the plant roots, reducing water waste. It's often used in arid regions or during periods of water shortage, but it's also used in more temperate climates for its efficient and conservation benefits. Common uses include vegetable gardens, flower beds, trees, shrubs, and agroforests. It can be set up for both small-scale home gardens and large-scale agricultural operations. The system requires a water source, a method to distribute the water, usually tubes and hoses, and emitters which control the amount of water delivered.